Hey, today I thought we'd talk about getting ideas, um, putting those ideas into a creative project, and getting all that stuff to work together in some kind of weird pot. Uh, which sounds like a tough thing to do in about 10 minutes, but I think we can do it. So I've got my mug of coffee here. I just washed my hair, so it's all kind of poofy and curly and everything. And I think we can do it. I have faith in you. I know we can do it. Let's start from the beginning. That's a good place to start. So, we'll say you're in college, you're doing an art course or something, and you got in a brief. And usually, this is kind of not unsimilar to what you might do at home. Let's say you're doing a project for yourself, it's just a little fun thing, or maybe you actually are doing a really important project and you really need this idea and you're just running out of ideas and you're just looking for another way to look at things. And that's why you're watching this video. But I think really take your basic concept. You'll usually know what this is, and I mean a vague concept. What you want to do, like you want to write a story about family. You want to write a story about. You want to do a painting about a certain scenery. You want to make a little short film about something, or whatever it is, sculpture, whatever. But you want to have some meaning behind it. You want to know where the characters are. You want to give things a bit more depth. And what I say is break it down. Break it down to its bare essentials. Really break it down to an almost emotional level, subatomic level, who you want to break down to. Like, say you're doing a thing on family, reflect on your own family. What does the word family mean to you? There's a great thing you can do, which is a thought bubble. Or not thought bubble, a mind map. Which you can have as a thought bubble. It's just you draw in what you want to, your basic topic is, and you take everything from that. So maybe to start and a good way to continue. Because when you're doing a mind map, a lot of people make this mistake, I see, where they kind of start off a mind map and then they'll go, well, I better keep to linear thoughts. I better keep to just like, oh, family is home, family is warmth, family is love. Maybe you are not that close to your family. Maybe you should just like write down really what you feel. Or maybe something random comes into your head that makes no sense at all, but it does make sense because it came into your head because of family. So no matter what it is, whatever this thing is that just popped into your head, write it down. Regardless, whatever it is, even if you think it doesn't make any sense, write it down. And keep doing this. So you've got your mind map done, you've got your basic idea done, you kind of know what kind of direction you want to go, you kind of know what kind of tone you want to go by this point. Usually you kind of know what kind of tone because of the emotions you're kind of feeling with the mind map you just created. And you start drawing or you start writing your first draft, or I suppose if you're doing sculpture you're doing drawings as well. So you're starting off, you're doing little drawings and you're adding bits in here and there. One piece of advice I give you is never think you have it all figured out. At no point until the very end have you got it all figured out. Just before you start making the project, you don't know what it's about yet. You might think you know, I think I know sometimes, but then you keep going, keep exploring, and keep adding bits in, and keep that method of adding things in that even though they seem random, you're still going to add them in. Because even though you don't really know what it means yet, I can guarantee at the end of it, it'll all make sense to you. And here's where we get kind of weird, because this is all because everything is working on your subconscious brain. Your subconscious brain is missing nothing. So you're picking up on colors and on the meaning of this and that, and it all has meaning to you. And so there's a few things that people will kind of connect to on a subliminal level. So when you're drawing and everything, I say to keep doing the thing you were doing with the mind map, and keep adding things in. Keep experimenting and never stop experimenting. So you're just adding bits in. You're still kind of doing sketches or whatever of the kind of finished project you think you want to do, the kind of thing you go, oh yeah, this seems right. But even at this point, you're still adding bits in, and don't be afraid to add things in. So let's say even if it's a painting, you're doing thumbnails or whatever, and you're just doing random sketches, and always do random sketches. It's really handy, even just little doodles or whatever. All of this is really valuable to you because while you're in this space, you're going to be really thinking about it. It's all going to be in the back of your mind. So even if you think you're doing something kind of random, you might take some little bit out of here and there of one of the little drawings you've done, and they'll influence the end project. Here's the next huge step I gotta say to you, maybe even before drawing, is to, as soon as you've got all the components, before you ever make your before you ever start making your finished piece, take a moment for yourself and just reflect. Go out, maybe go for a walk, maybe go to a cafe, go get a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. Just go to a nice quiet spot. Maybe sit next to someone who's working, who's very quiet or something. That's usually a good way to be. And just take a few minutes to just reflect on everything. And maybe even just empty your mind for a minute. And just allow all the pieces to fall into place. And if you're anything like me, what I do anyway, when I'm making a project, it usually weirdly kind of falls into place. I was doing a painting last year, and these aren't high art or anything like at all, but they're projects that I'm really happy with and really proud of. But I was doing a project last year, and I had this webcam that I brought in to draw, because it's not very angular, it's nice and round, and I can make a mistake and no one's really gonna know, because you can do that kind of thing. But if it's like slightly bent slight way, well, maybe it was that way, because it's very bendy neck and stuff, it might be fine. And I had this thing. It's a stylophone, which I'll make a video about later, but it doesn't really matter. But this thing anyway, a stylophone, it's an electronic kind of musical instrument. So I had the webcam looking at the stylophone and going, I just don't know. I mean, to me, for a long time, they were just objects. And I was getting so bogged down in just getting them looking like objects. Well, then all of a sudden I just sat there. Then I remembered something that one of the teachers had said, that if you wanted to, you can multiply your object, because it wasn't to be an exactly realistic drawing, it was to tell a story as well. So if you only had one of something but you really want two, you really need two for the painting, draw two, that's fine. So I thought, well, what if I had a bunch of them? What if I had a bunch of them all around it? And then I kind of came to the conclusion, like, they're watching it. They're watching this thing. They're like an alien eye looking at this thing, investigating it, being so terrified of it because they don't know what this is. It's just maybe landed on a planet or something, and they're watching it, looking at it, and going, is it going to kill us? Because they have no idea what this is. This could be anything. If this landed somewhere and you'd never heard of anything like this before, maybe you would think it was a bomb. Maybe you wouldn't have a clue what it is, It's got two little things here, it's got buttons, it's got knobs, it's got everything. You don't know what it is, could do anything. So, I mean, they think they're watching it, studying it. And it just kind of clicked together, and stuff like that. Like that doesn't really make any sense. I mean, if I just went, okay, well, they're webcams. Webcams. And this is a stylophone. So maybe something with music. Maybe I'm recording myself playing the musical instrument. But I just left the two objects be objects, and all of a sudden it's aliens watching this device. Now, if I hadn't given myself the few minutes to just sit there and think, I probably wouldn't have got that. I mean, this was up to the last minute. I really had left it really late. I was really kind of freaking out about the project, and all of a sudden that just came into place. And that kind of thinking has helped me through a lot of other projects since, where I try not to close my mind off to any kind of weird or out there ideas or whatever, and I kind of just keep experimenting. And on to the last kind of piece I want to say about when you're making your finished project. While you're making it, do not be afraid to add bits in, because you'll kind of go, now that I'm looking at it as a painting, or I'm looking at it as a sculpture, or now I'm looking at it as a film, maybe you filmed everything for the film and you're editing it now, all of a sudden one piece or something will just seem totally different to you, and one piece will just suddenly look totally different to you, and it'll make so much difference to you. And all of a sudden you'll see it from a totally different light, and you'll go, oh, now I know, because you've given yourself the space to be able to add bits in as long as you're going on. I mean, you're still touching it up and making it look good, let's say it's like trees or whatever it is, a landscape, whatever it is, and you're adding bits in, and you're going, you know what, this would look better here, or this tree, even though this is not really there in real life, but it looks really good there, and it really adds to it and gives it a nice frame, or something like that. And it's little simple things like that. All those kind of things. Always be open to experimentation, and always be open to adding bits in, and then we reinterpret our work, because again, we're still not finished, because you can sit back and look at your work, and now the ideas are really going to come to you, because you're going, now why did I paint that? I wonder what that means. What does that mean? Because as I said before, subconscious mind is at play here, and now maybe you've added something in, you didn't really know why you're putting it in there. It's kind of like, the only way I can describe it is, it's kind of like dreams, when you're kind of allowing yourself to sit back and allow your subconscious mind to kind of paint and stuff like that, like, which is what I kind of do. You kind of discover things as you go on, but always kind of keep yourself open to new ideas, and keep yourself kind of always discovering, because you're never finished discovering your own work. Okay, so to just basically wrap it all up, what I would say is to don't forget that the project kind of knows what it wants to be. As you go on, you'll kind of figure this out, and don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid to add weird bits in that you're not too sure what they're about. Don't be afraid to experiment. Don't be afraid to allow yourself to be open to new ideas. And again, as I say, like, break it down to its bare essentials, and from there you're going to get something great. And the other thing I would say is, as you're making something, maybe you're making something for yourself and not for college or anything, but what I would say is, don't ever worry if it's going to be popular. Don't ever kind of go, will this be popular? I hope it'll be popular. I'm going to make it because I've seen someone do this, this, and this. Don't do that. Don't make something because you hope it's going to be popular. Make something because you really are passionate about it, and as you're making it, you actually get really excited by it, And even if it's for college, even if you're like, I'm up against a deadline, you can find a way to make it fun for yourself. You can find a way to get them and go, I can't wait to go in, because I have no idea where it's going to go, but I have enough time to figure it all out, and I'm just going to throw everything against the wall and see what sticks. And I don't know if that expression is right, but it sounds right. And that's what I would say to you, is to always be experimenting, always be open to new ideas, and repeat myself now, so I'm going to just stop. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like. It actually does really mean a lot to me. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to be made aware when I'm making new videos or whatever. And until the next video,